This is very important to mention. You know, the Lord is always wanting to stretch us and to help us to grow in areas where we're weak. Quote, step out of our comfort zone, or quote, step out of the box, so to speak, to not be put in a box. And there are so many who have been set free. And that is important. And it is really good to be encouraging to somebody, to let them know that, you know, they're on the right track. Here's some things you can keep doing, and encourage them as they do it. And it's pretty much always well-intentioned. But something else often arises, like the other person becomes resistant. And as a result of that, because they don't understand why that person is being resistant or they're coming off as stubborn, it is automatically assumed, and labels are placed upon this other person saying, oh, they're stubborn, they're rebellious, they're a part of a stubborn and rebellious generation. Or go with the flow, or suck it up, or you need to step out of your box. But here's the thing. Something is so often misunderstood in this, because the reason why they seem to be resistant is the fact they feel like they're going to be put back in a box that the Lord removed them from, and they don't want to go back to what they were a part of. That is what is so often misunderstood. And sadly, the ones pushing for it and the ones placing the labels don't take the time to understand that they don't ask the person what's really going on. And also, in addition to that, so many out there, when they're labeled as stubborn or rebellious or some other thing, you know, they're going to shrink back and not tell you simply because they feel like you're not going to listen anyway. And that's just something that needs to be understood. So just because they're coming off as, quote, stubborn or rebellious because they're not, quote, stepping out of the box, end quote, it doesn't mean that they're being that way. There is a reason. They're not in rebellion to God. They don't want to be put back in a box that they were taken out of. They don't want to go back into bondage. So just understand that and have more compassion on them, just as they're learning to have compassion on you for not understanding. I mean, it's a two-sided deal. And also, in addition to that, if you are calling somebody stubborn or rebellious and saying that they're a part of a stubborn and rebellious generation, you're going to have to put that label upon yourself and your own generation, because the reality is, yes, we are in Christ, but we have all been born into stubborn and rebellious generations. And to place that label on somebody else without taking any ownership of it is actually hypocritical. There's some people that aren't going to like that I said that, but it's true. We just need to quit doing that and see what we can do better for ourselves, for our families, our loved ones, our communities, and the world that we live in, so that we can continue to be the lights on the hill and also the salt of the earth. So be blessed, and let's do better for one another so that the strife and this misunderstanding don't continue.